Good evening. You're now with me, Lorenzo Isaac, for TVS Nightline. We begin with this story. The federal government has increased Sabah's special interim grant from 600 million ringgit to 1.5 billion ringgit. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim announced the revised quantum while negotiations to finalise the mechanism for the 40% state revenue return continues. Anwar says current discussions no longer revolve around policy approval, but instead are focused entirely on execution frameworks between the federal and state governments. While the policy decision to execute the expenditure is secured, Anwar says the actual revenue sharing formula demands meticulous analysis. He explains that fiscal decisions regarding state rights carry direct structural implications for Sarawak and other component states within the federation. However, he stresses that integration complexities cannot be used as an excuse to delay implementing Sabah's lawful entitlements.
Saudara, bila bincang soal hak negeri, perjanjian persekutuan, itu tidak boleh kita pakai gunting 1-2 kemudian selesai. Sudah kena faham, setiap keputusan yang saya buat, itu implikasinya langsung ke Sarawak dan negeri-negeri lain. Betul, saudara kata ini 1993 keadaannya lain. Tetapi dia akan mengundang perbincangan. Saya bukan guna ini alasan untuk menolak. Saya hanya nak ceritakan ini dia Malaysia. Ini kepelbagaiannya. Ini hubungan negeri-negerinya. Sabah Sarawak itu agak istimewa kerana 1963 perjanjian. Tetapi negeri-negeri lain pun ada hak mereka masing-masing. Mereka tidak mahu terasa terpinggir dan ketinggalan. Jadi yang saya sebut di sini ialah rundingan itu harus teliti. Tiap keputusan kita ini keputusan terkait dengan perjanjian 1963. Jadi tiap keputusan kita jumlahnya itu harus dicerakin dengan terperinci.
Speaking at the launch of the 2026 Keamatan Festival celebration in Sabah today, he stressed that Sabah's constitutional claims remain irrefutable as they correspond directly with the solemn pledges made in 1963. The Sarawak government is currently conducting feasibility studies alongside the Federal Economic Planning Unit to map out a strategic railway network connecting Bintulu to southern Sarawak. Sarawak Premier Datuk Patinggi Dan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg says these comprehensive assessments will determine both the most suitable alignment and the technical viability of the landmark project.
Sebenarnya apa yang kajian dibuat ialah sebahagian daripada jajaran kereta api Borneo dan ia melibatkan kerajaan Indonesia, Brunei dan Malaysia. Tetapi Malaysia membuat kajian dulu untuk kawasan wilayah Malaysia bermakna Sarawak dan Sabah. Sekarang ini kajiannya sedang dibuat oleh Unit Perancangan Ekonomi Malaysia. Dan bagi kita, apabila sudah dikenal pasti jajarannya, kita akan mula membina kereta api untuk Bintulu ke Sabah Laju.
Abang Johari reveals that the proposed railway is a cornerstone of Sarawak's mega plan to revolutionise regional logistics, kicking off with a low-carbon industrial corridor from Bintulu to Samalaju. While the system is being designed for future cross-border integration and cutting-edge hydrogen technology, any international connections to Kalimantan will depend on high-level negotiations and strict cost assessments.
Mengikut teknologi sekarang, nampaknya harga mengeluarkan hidrogen dengan kadar harga diesel dan juga fossil fuel yang ada hari ini selepas perang Iran, nampaknya kompetitif. Dan kalau teknologi pengeluarannya akan menurun, kerana kita akan mempunyai teknologi mengeluarkan hidrogen dirembus untuk BRT kita. Saya rasa per kilogram of hydrogen will be maybe slightly cheaper than fossil fuel.
The Scout Guide campsite in Matang is now 70% completed and is expected to serve as campsite, training ground and youth development center for the Sarawak Scouts Council SSC and Girl Guides Association of Malaysia Sarawak. Sarawak Premier Abang Johari says the facility is built to support the activities of Scouts and Girl Guides while strengthening youth development in the state.
Satu kawasan yang telah kita serah kepada pergerakan pengakap dan juga guide, di mana dulu pernah diadakan jambori. Dan sekarang ini tanah itu kita uruskan untuk kegunaan pengakap guide, di mana ia menjadi camping site untuk aktiviti pengakap dan juga guide. Dan kita juga membangunkan bangunan yang difahamkan 70% siap. Kita tinggal 30% lagi. Dan ini akan menjadi satu peluang kemudahan untuk pergerakan guide dan pengakap seluruh Malaysia untuk berjumpa dan mengadakan kegiatan mereka di sana. Kita telah membangunkan dengan kemudahannya untuk melatih belia yang mengikuti pergerakan pengakap dan guide untuk menjalankan kegiatan-kegiatan yang membina di tempat tersebut.
Abang Johari says the site also serves to foster leadership, discipline, cooperation and sense of identity among the youth. At the same time, the Sarawak government has begun the construction of a new Sarawak Scouts Council HQ, which will be called the Tun Openg Building. The original building was destroyed in a fire in February last year. The original building was destroyed in a fire on February 6, 2024.
Police arrested 9 men in Betong following an armed brawl at a snooker club in Debak on Friday morning. The suspects, aged between 23 and 25, were apprehended at multiple locations across Pusa and Debak between 2:30 p.m. and 4 p.m. Betong District Police Chief, the SP1 Muhammad Ali Wan Malik, says 2 of the suspects have prior drug records, while 1 tested positive for ketamine. Initial investigations revealed the altercation stemmed from a drunken dispute between 2 acquaintances before escalating to involve their friends. Bystanders at the scene attempted to break up the fight, which was captured on camera and later uploaded onto social media. Police confirmed no injuries were reported and stressed that the riot did not involve any elements of gangsterism. These suspects are being investigated under Section 148 of the Penal Code for rioting while armed with weapons or dangerous items. The White House warns that the US is more than capable of resuming war with Iran as a peace deal hangs in the balance. President Donald Trump huddled with top national security officials in the White House Situation Room for 2 hours on Friday, but left without signing off on the agreement. The administration says it is holding firm on Trump's strict red lines.
From a defense summit in Singapore, U.S. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth sent a blunt message to Tehran.
Our ability to recommence if necessary is we are more than capable. Our stockpiles are more than suited for that, both there and around the globe, because of how we balance exquisite and more plentiful munitions. So we're in a very good place.
The Pakistan-mediated deal aims to end the West Asia conflict that has jolted the global economy, but major roadblocks remain. Trump wants the blockaded Strait of Hormuz reopened toll-free and Iran's enriched uranium destroyed. But Iran is pushing back hard. Iranian state media denies those terms exist and is demanding the immediate release of $12 billion in frozen assets before moving forward. Meanwhile, fighting rages on the war's secondary front. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu announced that IDF forces have advanced deeper into Lebanon, despite parallel military talks happening right now at the Pentagon.
מכאן מנהלים את הקרב נגד חיזבאללה בצפון, ואני חייב להגיד לכם שיש כאן תוצאות מאוד מרשימות. כוחות שלנו חצו את הליטני, הם עלו לשטחים השולטים.
Diplomacy is expected to continue next week in Washington, but with both sides projecting strength to their domestic audiences, the path to a lasting peace remains highly volatile.
The IDF claims it targeted more than 100 Hezbollah infrastructure sites and fighters in what was one of the heaviest nights of bombardment since a U.S. brokered ceasefire began in mid-April. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says the Israeli military is deepening its operation in southern Lebanon, securing strategic positions on the ground. RT correspondent Ali Rida Speti reports from Beirut, Lebanon.
We are deepening our operation in Lebanon. The IDF is operating with large forces on the ground and seizing dominant terrain. We are fortifying the security zone to protect the communities of the north. Concurrently, we are leading a massive national effort to advance creative and innovative solutions against explosive drones. We back and praise our heroic commanders and soldiers. They are deep in the field. We are counting on you.
The situation in Lebanon, it's very, very intense, and the attacks are escalating day by day, even after the second announcement or the second extension of the ceasefire for 45 days. We're still seeing attacks on the southern Lebanese villages. And for the Israeli troops, they are already working in Lebanese territories and in southern Lebanese villages. Every day we've seen announcement by Hezbollah attacking those troops in southern Lebanese villages in Bayada and Bint Jbeil. And since this morning, we've been hearing news about direct clashes between Hezbollah fighters and the Israeli army troops. So they are already working on the ground, working on Lebanese territories. But what this news might mean is that they were getting more troops, and we've heard some news also about they are calling the reserve troops to be present in Lebanon. So what this means is that they are getting more and more troops to be in Lebanon. This could mean that they are trying to attack more Hezbollah facilities, or at least as they say so, to prevent the FPV drone attacks. But the thing is, on the ground, all these attacks, we are seeing civilian casualties. Yesterday, they targeted the village of Mashghara in West Biqa. We had 11 civilian killed, among them a grandfather and grandmother, like 3 generations of the same family, the daughter, and even the grandsons were killed. And along the so-called ceasefire and the extended ceasefire, we've seen massacres happening along many villages around Nabati district and Tyre district.
Those were the updates on TVS Nightline. I'm Lorenzo Isaac. Thank you for watching and have a good night.